Gina from Haunted Flower, and today I'm going to review 2012, the new disaster movie from Roland Emmerich. Roland Emmerich has written and directed other disaster movies too, with Independence Day, Godzilla, The Day After Tomorrow, and 10,000 BC. Yeah, maybe he should have skipped that last one, but you can see the logical progression of his career. He's blown up individual cities, he's let a monster go after a city, he's let Mother Nature go crazy with a climate crisis, and then he's watched Primal Man deal with, oh, never mind. If you love disaster movies, you will love this movie. Most disaster movies have a problem. They focus a little bit too much on plot and introducing characters and preparing for the disaster, and not a lot of time on the disaster itself, maybe 15 minutes. This movie corrects that flaw. We get a little bit of time with characters, we introduce them enough to gain a little bit of empathy, so we'll care a little if something happens to them, but most of the time we are hanging out with the disaster, and it is awesome. This was so incredible, and it didn't really look fake. It's beautiful. It's almost art. You like tidal waves, tsunamis, earthquakes, volcanoes, or a little movie called Titanic? Well, you can have them all in this one-stop shop of a movie. It's got everything. And you know how riveting the trailer was? That's only one of the opening sequences. They didn't completely blow their wad on that either, because they added a lot more to it. They only show bits and pieces of that sequence. It's amazing, amazing. The way the film is shot, there are tons of close calls, and I found myself reaching out to the screen run faster, jump higher, pull the plane out of the dive. Watch out for that mountain. And I was just completely absorbed and entranced by this movie. I'm just sitting there with my jaw. This movie just looks amazing. There's no denying it. He's taken everything he's learned from making these other movies and thrown it all into this. Was the acting by the actors on point? They panicked well, showed tragedy for their lost loved ones and strangers, but no one really stood out to me except for one supporting role, Woody Harrelson. He's had a busy year between Zombieland, this quick character, and The Messenger. He shows up as this crazy fanatic prophesying to the world that, it's going to blow up from the inside, and he broadcasts it on the radio. His little quirks really add something special. I enjoyed his sequence very much. Major complaint I'd have about this movie, I guess, would be the Russian character. This guy, I thought he was interesting, but I really had to strain to understand him in some scenes. His accent was so thick. Overall, I really enjoyed it. I was very forgiving to the plot. If you look at it closely, there are lots of problems with the plot and devices, and there's some arguments for the logic of certain situations. You gotta let it slide. This movie is so visually stimulating. I'll just brush all that other stuff under the carpet because it's a great watch. If you love disaster filmgasm, watch this. This is one movie you probably will want on Blu-ray, and for good reason. The world has